Hey, what's up, everybody? This is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you, going through Ohio in the rain. Seems to be common out here. Anyway, I'm doing this video because I've been talking to people, and for some reason, people are having a hard time with the breakdowns. They're not getting it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you some examples and what the rates are doing for you. Okay. So the trucks here at Super Ego, if you get a 2024, 2025, 2026, you're governed to 72 miles an hour. If you get a 2023 or older, your truck is governed to 75 miles an hour. So obviously you got 11 driving hours per day. So let's say you just run 10 hours, 70 miles an hour, 700 miles, right? 700 miles times 6 days is 4,200 miles, right? 10 hours a day, 6 days is 60 hours. So it's feasible to say that you can run 4,000 miles in the clock that you have, and on the 7th day do your 34. Okay. So with that said, let's say you run a 4,000 mile week, and the rates that you're getting, you're at around $1 a mile. And let's say it's a light load. So a light load, $500 get you 1,000 miles. You run 4,000 miles, that's $2,000, right? 4,000 miles at $1 a mile is $4,000. Company gets 25%, that's $3,000. $2,000 in fuel, that leaves you $1,000. You got your truck paid. You're broke. That's simple. So let's take the same 4,000 miles light load, and let's say you get $1.50 a mile. $1.50 a mile pays you $6,000. $6,000 at 25% is $1,500. That leaves you $4,500. At $4,500, you do $2,000 in fuel. That leaves you $2,500. You got your truck payment. Depending on the truck you get, it could be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. Truck, trailer, insurance, etc. So if you do it based on $1,500, that leaves you $1,000 for the week. Not great money, but you get a payout. But that's based on a light load. I haven't had a light load all week yet. I do light loads, but the majority of my loads, I'd say 70% or more, are 40,000 pounds in them. So at 40,000 pounds, you're doing 800 miles to a $500 bill. That means 4,000 miles, you're doing 2,500. You're filling up, let's see, 5 times 8. Yeah, 5 times 8 is 4,000. So you're filling up 5 times, you're doing 2,500 in fuel. So at $1.50 a mile, $1,500 goes to the company, leaving you $4,500. You got $2,500 in fuel now. $2,500 in fuel leaves you $2,000. You got your truck payment, $1,500. That leaves you $500 for the week. Still a payout, but not a very good one. Okay, so let's say you get $2 a mile. $2 a mile gives you a gross of $8,000. With a gross of $8,000, 25% to the company leaves you $6,000. $2,500 in fuel leaves you $3,500. $3,500 minus $1,500 truck payment leaves you $2,000. At $2,000 for the week, that's a respectable payout. $2,000 a week times 52 weeks gives you $104,000 for the year. So the money's there. Now your dispatcher is going to call you with loads. He's going to say, I got this load, 1,000 miles, 45,000 pounds, paying $1,200. That's $1.20 a mile. The answer is no. Very simple, very easy. No. No, 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 no. And if you have one of those dispatchers that's aggressive and they tell you, well, this is all there is, you got to take this load. If you don't take this load, you don't get nothing. The answer is still no. Do your job. And if he refuses to do his job, you can request another dispatcher. It's your business. It's your business. A dispatcher gets fired enough times, he'll either get retrained or he'll get let go. He's putting his job on the line. But the bottom line about that is, if you take the load that he's giving you, the load that he is insisting you take, when you can't pay your bills at the end of the week, is he going to cut you a check? Nope. Is he going to go put groceries on your table? Nope. In the end, it affects you. And only you. So you need to look out for you. Like I told you guys in previous videos, I've been through 5 dispatchers. Well, I take it back, I've been through 4. I'm on my 5th dispatcher right now. And the dispatcher I have right now is good. I've had a couple good dispatchers, but the other ones, they got hired up by other companies, making more money. They're good. And I've had a couple dispatchers that were not so good. Got rid of them. I've had dispatch, like I had one dispatcher come at me that was in Colorado. He told me, if you don't take this load, you're going to sit there for the next 10 days. I said, well, I guess I got a vacation. My answer is still no. And then I called his boss. So, you know you need to get around $2 a mile or better. If you're not getting around $2 a mile or better, you're not making money. You're not making money. Now here's the exception. Let's say you get a load going to Texas. paying $1.80 a mile. But your dispatcher tells you when you get there, you drop this off by this time, I got another load that you can pick up running just as many miles, and you're getting $2.30, $2.40 a mile. That compensates $1.80. So you're still actually running a little better than $2 a mile. That's what you need to make sure that you're making money. Because remember, $2 a mile on with heavy loads, get you a gross of 8,000. You're running 4,000 miles a week. Get you a gross of 8,000. 25% goes to the company, which leaves you 6,000. You're doing 2,500 in fuel, which leaves you 3,500. Truck payment comes out, 1,500. That leaves you $2,000. You're taking home $2,000 a week. You're doing good. Now you got other expenses that come out. You know, you blow a tire, sensor goes bad, whatever. They deduct that from your check. That's part of the deal. That comes out of your 2,000. That's part of the deal. But at least you got money now for it to come out of. There's no reason to be negative. No reason to be negative. Well, I take that back. Because I had a week where my truck was down for 5 days. Recently. I was negative that week. But that's because I was in and out of the shop. I finally ended up at a dealership. So I wasn't negative because of the loads. I was negative because I was in the shop. Oh, and last week I was negative. I was negative because I wanted to go home for my grandkid's birthday. So I took loads that were paying less than $2 a mile to get home. Neither one of those were the company's fault. Neither one of those were Super Eagle's fault. Truck breaks down, shit happens. If you want to go somewhere and the loads aren't paying good, but you need to get there, that's your decision to go there. You take the hit. When you get back on the road, you make up for it. You make sure you're going to areas that are paying. Okay? I took the hit last week. Right now I'm on track for a $10,000 gross week. I am 30 minutes away from my last drop. This run alone, gross is 6,500. So take the hit one week, you make up for it the next week. But the bottom line is, and I keep saying it, people get mad. What you do is on you. Now, if your dispatcher keeps coming at you with crappy loads, get a new dispatcher. If your dispatcher tries to force upon you to take crappy loads, get a new dispatcher. But these are the numbers you need to keep in mind. And if he doesn't tell you what it's paying per mile, break it down. It ain't that hard. 2,000 miles paying $3,000. Okay, 2 goes into 3 one time. It's $1.50 a mile. The answer is no. It's that simple. Everybody's phone has a calculator on it. Break out the calculator, figure it out. I've had people tell me they do their breakdown at the end of the week. At the end of the week, it's too late. The damage is done. You can't rewind a week to say no to loads to get better loads. You wait till the end of the week, the damage is done. You need to break down each and every load. Break down each and every load. And look at what each and every load are paying. And if it's not meeting the numbers that you want it to meet, if it's not meeting the expectations that you want it to meet, the answer is no. Period. No. I don't want that load. Find me another one. They give you the excuse of, well, there's nothing else going out today. Great. I'll take my 10. Start looking for something for tomorrow. Because my answer is still no. If you take a load that's not paying, and you can't even cover your gas, let alone your truck payment, you're losing money on the load. It's like you're coming out of your pocket to drive that load. Why would you want to pay to deliver somebody else's product? You should be getting paid to deliver somebody else's product. Right? So they come at you with these low rates, the answer is no. And if you have an attitude of desperation and stuff like that, they're going to try to force you to take whatever they got. You need to look out for you. They come at you with these low rates, the answer is no. And if you decide to accept a job with a low rate, remember, you accepted it. You can't blame anybody else for it. You accepted it. So because you accepted it, then you accept the consequences for it. If it's a lot of miles and it's a short delivery time and you got to figure out how to get there, if you're late, that's on you. If you got to do what you got to do to get there on time, that was your choice. Why? Because you accepted the load. If you do the math, it's 1,400 miles, but it's next day delivery. If you don't think that you can run that load with the clock that you have, the answer is no. They tell you 1,400 miles paying $4,000. If you don't want to run that load with the clock that you have, and some of these loads are time sensitive, so it's not like it's okay to deliver it late. They need it there by that time. If you accept it, that was your choice. That's on you. So you got to do what you got to do to get it there on time. If you don't think you can get it there on time, doesn't matter how much it's paying, the answer is no. No. Okay? Some guys, they like the challenge. They'll take it and they'll run it. Some guys don't. They just want to run their regular clock and do their regular hours and do their regular thing. That's fine. Everybody's different. But you accept loads according to your preferences, according to what you want to do. And whatever the end result is, your result is due to your choices. So get the information on the load. Take a minute to figure out what the load is going to cost you. Now, when I say what the load is going to cost you, your fuel and your truck payment come out right away, guaranteed. Okay, I always tell people I try to have my truck payment covered in 3 days. To cover it in 3 days, I got to make $500 a day. That's a cost. So if I get a load, for example, and it's a 5-day load, and after fuel and stuff like that, I'm only making $2,000. Well, 5 days is the majority of my week. My truck payment's got to come out of that. So yeah, I cover my costs, but I'm only making $500. That's not acceptable. For 5 days, I should have $2,500 minimum. 5 days times 500 is $2,500. So by my 5th day, my truck payment is made, and I should have $1,000 already going to the bank. I get Saturday, get a short hot load, another 500 plus going to the bank. Right? That means that I'm taking home at least $1,500. If I get better rates than the $2 a mile, I'm taking home more than that. If I get a hot load, they want to pay me $4,000 to drive 1,400 miles and deliver it the next day for $4,000, I will do it. Why will I do it? Because 1,400 miles with a light load, a tank and a half of fuel, $750, right? $4,000, 25% is $3,000. $3,000 minus 750 is $2,250 for one night. My truck payment comes out of that. I'm still taking home $750. And one night I make my truck payment, and the rest of the week goes in my bank account. Is it worth it? Oh yeah. But again, my choice. Ain't nobody making me do anything. My choice. I can always say no. I guarantee you somebody else will run that load. Because if you say no and that load comes to me, oh yeah, my truck's in gear. So this is why I tell people you got to be accountable and responsible for your choices. Because whatever choice you make, right or wrong, good or bad, the only person that's going to affect is you. Now, you could be like some of these people, oh, I drove all week for Super Ego and I didn't make no money. Super Ego scammed me. What is it they're not telling you? They're not telling you that they got offered loads and they took loads that were lower than what they should have taken. And that's why they drove all week and didn't make any money. Oh, Super Ego made me drive extra hours. No, they didn't. You didn't manage your time properly, or you took a load where you couldn't drive it in one shift with a delivery time that you couldn't make in one shift. That was your choice. And this is what people aren't telling you when they make these videos. But if you listen to what they're saying and you put a little bit of thought process to it, that's what they're telling you. Because again, Super Ego is just a finance company. That's all they are. They sell trucks. They're a credit company. And in selling the truck, they offer everything there to make sure that you can make your truck payment. That's all they are. And as long as they get their truck payment, do they care? I just told you could run $1 a mile, 4,000 miles and make your truck payment. You ain't gonna take no money home, but you're gonna make your truck payment. That's all they care about. Just being honest with you. As long as you make your truck payment, you're in the green with them. Whether or not you make any money, that's up to you. So it might sound childish, But practice. No, 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 no. Make no your favorite word. So when they call you with loads that are crappy, they're not paying, the answer is no. Well, there's nothing else, so you're going to sit tonight. Okay, well, I'd rather sit and not burn fuel than go and take money out of my pocket. So I'll sit. That's simple. Now, if you're in an area like Oregon right now, it's crappy. Oregon is crappy. But you're in Oregon, you ain't gonna get no good rates out of Oregon right now. You're not. But you get a ride from Oregon to a state that's paying, and you get $250, $283 a mile coming out of that state, you can compensate the hit coming out of Oregon. Put together 2 loads. But still, do it at your discretion. You make the choice. And you realize what it is you're choosing. All right? So, that's it for that. I'm in traffic in Ohio, construction area. Got these things all over the country. And I'm in the rain. But I'm 30 miles from my drop, so drop this off and see what's up. Y'all have a good day. Be safe out there.